Hello and welcome down here from the Turbo Concept going Formula 1 Racing in RIA Formula Racing Series that we're joining here today in the RIA Racing for the Formula 1 series of Allstars and throughout sports other kinds of a little bit one of these things. In the last video, I thought you have celebrated 41,000 subscribers special that eventually that isn't going to be getting a lot of much views as anymore because they were not interested at always because that I just taken a tour for all of the websites inside of the lobby. And before we're going to get inside of there, and I'm not sure that we're going to do this because of the shot X means it's probably that replacing to another sponsor that the X word means that's subject to be changing out for some sort of unknown reasons for this only one thing. I'm not pretty sure that must be some sort of making changes to the Twitter icon as well, Twitter logo as we possibly think. As we just gonna be probably open here for now that the sign says all suits are added for right here because eventually it is not on sale, it's probably off sale. So looks like if it that off sale for these all the merchandise as well, if you just probably leave me know in the comments down below, and especially in the last video as well. So especially we got for some sort of Ferrari, Renault, Alpine, like these other cars, Toro Rosso, Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, or some sort of AlphaTauris, and I'm not sure that we're just gonna be buying some that can cost Robux as well, because eventually for off sale goes out for a little bit of these things. So I'm going to give ourselves in the lobby drifter that we just possibly that we're going to be making sure that we're already start, and let's give us a go for the engine start all the way to 6th gear. I'm not going to be trying to drifting around for itself for to do here. So instead of going for a very best lap times, we cannot able to go into the museum. There must be another R2 store. Looks like we got the tools in the shop that requires for game passes as well, and I'm not pretty sure everybody has just kicked out of the game for starting for the lap times cheated as well. And if I just completely jump out of the vehicle and currently despawns it, so looks like we have 3 tracks to choose from. If you just lap time to beat 1 minute and 9 seconds, you're instantly kicked out and you just not allowed to re-enter to head back into this game. So whatever we try to choose from, starting from the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, the Shanghai International Circuit, and the Hawaii Unknown Circuit for some sort of one reason, which is probably not located something but real, but it's actually, I'm probably not sure this is going to be really frictional. So anyways, let's get right into the southern Italy as well. So it cannot able to teleport as really fast as to do so, and this is also Autodromo Nazionale di Monza as well. As you can see of this track, it was modernized and we cannot take in inside of this thing because if you start of this for some sort of lap times, it happens to your account. And because I'm not alternative as well, because of this sponsored, and this is absolutely for the FIA season. So looks like we cannot able to start around in the pits as well, and we're probably not to do so inside of that staff as well. So looks like we have the members over here. We're taking the tour inside of this, and this is the lead into the podium as well. And for some sort of a little bit of one reasons to do this, and because of this terrible reasons that you're not able to do to go racing, you just instantly kicked out, and once again for the rest of the lap times whatsoever for some sort of a Chinese reference. Of course this is absolutely pretty, it is, because you know this is real, and we probably not sure that we're gonna be doing this. Let's go for the old cars to spawn instead of going for a lap times to do so, because unfortunately you're not allowed to go lap times anymore because you're instantly going to get kicked out of the game and probably nothing whatever we try to start any lap times to do that we're going to be doing for something is absolutely terribly kicked out of the game as well. Starting, let's going for the old cars. I do not able to drive for some old cars for one reason to do this. All the textures had been spawned in, and look how for there's only one car. So looks like this is the Arrows A21, and we probably not sure that should be able to be driving up this car because this is pretty a little bit perfect instead of a naughty as well. So I just despawned the arrows thing for the A21 or A22. Let's spawn another one for old cars, Sauber, that we spawn all the way into the back, and look how it is. I'm probably not sure is the Sauber Super Formula as well. I think this is absolutely for the 2017 model for the Formula 1. If I just jump inside of the Formula 1, it's absolutely drivable. If I'm going to be start lap times here, I get kicked out of the game. And once the car has been deleted, I got something for something. The bad news is my internet connection is getting more worse and terrible. So we're going to be spawning the Manor Formula 1 car as well. I really think this is not the 2010s car or some sort of a 2017 Super Formula like these things as well. It's not just the same Formula 1 car, it's just an original design like these things as well for the F1 2015. So we just eventually delete the car and unable to jump inside of this vehicle. So this is the Haas Formula 1. And looks like if I just spawn in, it will be taking for some time, but unfortunately, it froze. It always froze, because that I just gonna be going to automatically kicked out of the game. It continues to keep on froze. Unfortunately, we just gonna be rejoining the game sometimes. In the first minutes of the server, that I just keep on spawning any cars to do so. Let's just gonna be spawning the real thing as the Haas Formula 1 car like this thing. So as you can see for around here, this is the halo for right over here, and probably that must be revealed look like this. A black car on wheels. We just absolutely delete this car, and looks like this is not gonna be to do this like this. For the HAAS is absolutely probably really to do this, to jump inside of that car, and it sounds like a V6 as well, and pretty much louder as to do this, because of only one thing is you cannot able to do 4 lap times instead of all the cars that you're going to lap time of all 3 tracks. That here is this for a terrible problem by using the Arrows Formula 1 car as to do so. And that I just spawn a Formula 2000 that I just probably already spawned. This is not the F2004 like we already said. Looks like this is absolutely the car from Michael Schumacher that I just completely spawned, and I'm not allowed to drive it because instead I'm going to get IP banned for reason lap times to do this, that causing for the count termination as well. If you're gonna be doing 3 times of lap times, that you cannot able to access of this game anymore. So we don't able to use for all of the cars, instead going off lap times as well. The next thing is we have the Jaguar Formula 1 before the Red Bull has just stepped in, unless that Jaguar is going to step down for just pretty soon by using for some sort of a Jaguar or something like the engine as well. Because due to the failure it looked like this, I'm probably not sure that you cannot able to be kicked off the game. So if that is absolutely going to be doing for such as one preview, we cannot able to use all cars. If that what happens and towards into the lap times, that isn't going to be making us further. So I was trying to delete the vehicle in the first minutes of the server. It won't be handled for very much longer for itself. Then I just spawned a McLaren T1000s as well. I think this is absolutely year 2004. Mika Hanikan is probably using for this car as well. So this is the oldest version, or some sort of a Silver Arrows version of the McLaren himself. So I eventually delete this car, but unfortunately it won't be able to take around for this much server, as we possibly need to do this whatever it takes. And this is the McLaren 2000s that Mika Heckin just driven this car as well, and probably for this all working for just one thing. So in this McLaren, we're probably absolutely pretty able to much to see. Look like a modern version for the F1 2015 look like this. So I managed to delete this car because instead I'm gonna be using the McLaren car that will completely start the lap times. I have kicked out of this game very much. And the next one that I just spawned, Minardi, and not pretty much to do so, looks like probably this. It's already spawned. What happened that isn't gonna be using like this thing. You cannot able to use all of the F1 cars that I already said, because you're gonna get kicked out anyways, as probably nothing to do so. And the next thing is going to be the classics for the famous cars, look like we've been seeing. The Ferrari 1960s. And it looks like for a, probably for one thing, for a V12. A classic with no aerodynamics whatsoever, and probably, there must be no spoilers, whatever we try to say, until for the aero like these things. Next one, we just spawned Matra Formula 1. And it's probably for the 1968 version of this probably Formula 1 car as well. And for a little bit for Grand Prix reference, we just currently delete the vehicle and let's spawn a Brabham. And this is where Jim Clark has just driven this before, but I'm not sure that he's gonna be letting me know down in the comments anyways, because if we just absolutely driving onto this thing as well, all cars are not for absolutely for meshes like itself. This is absolutely made with blocks of all Formula 1 cars we probably never be able to sell. And then we just spawned a Renault car driven by Fernando Alonso. Look like probably for some sort of a Formula 1, it was a Caterham on wheels. And we're probably not sure to be allowed to drive all the cars, because if you're just going to get kicked out of this game. And by the way, this must be the 2010s version of this All-Star cars. And we got the 2021 Aston Martin. And it's probably look like probably to do like this thing as well. It looks standard, and this is absolutely for the last year of this maximum attack of these Formula 1 cars. If I probably lean to the next one, this is the Williams, the old-fashioned like itself for the 2000s Williams, or the late 2000s Williams. We probably gonna be try to spawn around here. And another one is the Red Bull Formula 1 car. It looked slightly not big as well. It's probably really a little bit wide than Ford F-150, 250, and 450, 350 as well. So I'm probably not sure that we're gonna be trying to save for some sort of a numbers. And before we're gonna be the end of this video, we do not able to try to lap times as well, because I'm trying not to do this as anyways. We got the F1 2009 or 2010. We got our official Lotus, look like for another generation of the Formula 1. It's not based on Forza Motorsport 5, but looks like this is an actual Formula 1 car. We possibly that we just pretty due to do this as well. I just spawned another Lotus. We probably not to do so as anyways. We're not gonna be skipping around for this very far. And the next thing, we spawn a 2000s Jordan as well. The 1990s Jordan, or some sort of a 2010s Jordan. We probably gonna be deleting of this car, because instead that you're gonna be driving of this car, I'm not sure that you just gonna kicked out. This is the Ferrari 2014 or the 2013 car that you be recommended to drive of this car, and you're not allowed to lap times as well. So if I'm gonna be going ahead, unfortunately it was a bad decision to do this, because before you're going to race, you absolutely spawn the Formula 1 cars on the track, and you're not allowed to make things for various cheats. If I got a lot of corner cuts to do so, we're not allowed to race on to do this as well. And we got another McLaren. I think is another one McLaren to do this for just one thing as well. The 2010's McLaren or 2015 McLaren. And I'm not sure that we're going to be all cars as well. Well, that's all the cars we have to say for just all the way around here. So we're not going for lap times. In the forward times, we do not going backwards because due to something for a very strange rules and restrictions, you're bound to go race. And it was absolutely horrifying to go around the racetrack as well. So we're not allowed to go to race around here. So before we cannot able to start driving, unfortunately, we are not allowed to drive all around on the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza and start lap times. And probably that should be the end of this video. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and click that bell. And I have returned back into lobby. That all cars after this lobby, we have absolutely to do this, whatever we try to say. Thanks for watching and for all your support. And we still have more to come. It's not going to be the end of this video anyways. Well, now going into China, we're probably going to get inside of this track because how wonder it's not going to be about to work as well. Because I'm not allowed to race here in Formula Racing Stars. But looks like I'm not sure. This is not absolutely pretty real for the Shanghai International Circuit as well. In the R2 version, looks like it's even frictional as well. Because I am not allowed to race like this thing as well. So we cannot able to spawn Jordan as you can go all the way back into for the reverse side of the road. So looks like I'm gonna be jumping inside and stepping away outside of this Formula 1 track as well. So let's turn into kilometers an hour as we start to get all the way to go, because unfortunately that lags and froze very much. That will lead into account termination, or you gotta get kicked out of the game. It's very quick, terribly, and nothing that isn't going to be to do so as anyways. The top speed of those F1 2000s and 2010 cars were slightly 330 kilometers an hour. Because as you can see, there must be some sort of a grandstand. I'm not pretty sure that we're going to be going racing to do this. I'll be stepping out of the racetrack, and this is not absolutely going to be for very secrets as well. This is absolutely for incredible 1,000 subscribers. One thing is going to be making things a little bit of one thing, what happened to do this. I'm not going for lap times anyways to do this. I'm going for a little bit in front as well. So instead of jumping into this thing as well, I just flew it off out there. And let's get back into the lobby as quickly as possible. That I just did doing something wrong for like these things. Because there are no bug fixes right here. And let's just get into another frictional track. Hawaii. Let's go into another racing track. It's probably two tracks we're absolutely going to be trying to do so as well. Nope, I'm not sure that we're going to do. It's still going whatever we try to do, we say. It's probably too much words that I'm not going to be going to do this. Looked like it probably looked like for some sort of a Shining Glitter reference. And probably Grand Theft Auto Vice City reference. And looks like I just completely spawned in McLaren. And let's go jump inside. Instead of McLaren, let's go for the Ferrari as well. So, not instead of like this thing. So, I just gotta be pretty to choose Ferrari. So, let's jump inside of this Formula 1. And we're ready to go and hit the spectate button as well. So, let's go for a free view, as we're just going to be going for around for many more like these things as well. Because by the end of the League Series, and the League Series is over, you can do free things as well, but unfortunately, that will get banned you off. Because I'm not sure that you're going to win anyways. 330 kilometers an hour. without some sort of a bump draft as well. So we're taking a little bit amount of like these things as well. So it's not absolutely for some sort of a boards as well. We cannot do for this any best of the lap times as we know it. So I just went too wide of this corner, and I'm not hopefully that we're gonna be lost to do this. See, we cannot able to go back into the pits, and this is the final straight corner to do this. I really think this could be the end of today's video, and unless I will not gonna be making such as one thing to do with anything what possibly we did it as well. So if you're gonna be enjoy of this video for probably somewhere that you're going to be racing for the Formula 1, as we already reached to 1,000 subscribers special, like the blockage with some sort of supported A chassis around of itself. The game is linked in the description down below that you're joining this for today, and this is going to be Turbo Concept is signing off. And don't forget, leave a like and subscribe, and the game also, or probably if you don't like of this game that you're kicked out of this thing that before lap times, you were absolutely going to be terrifying of this game at all times. And subscribe to our channel to reach a lot of subscribers or whatsoever, that the next thing we're going to be beating some other kinds of rivals that any to this day as well. And also the video is over 20 minutes long, or 30 minutes as well. And this is going to be Turbo Concept is signing off, and thanks for watching. And I'm gonna be cheer you out, and I'll be see you Formula 1 fans all later.